Hi there, this is Hevin from PC Rescue, and I'm just going to take you through the Windows 10 basics today. And even if you've had it installed for quite some time, you might find one or two things that you weren't aware of. So let's get started down here on the Start button. As you can see with Windows 10, it's a bit different to the previous versions. I mean, on the left-hand side here, you've got the sort of the Windows 7 style menu. It looks a bit different, but it's fairly similar. And then to the right here you've got what used to be in the Windows 8, but unfortunately with Windows 8 they did away with the Start button, which wasn't a good idea, as they quickly found out. So what they've done in Windows 10 is to combine them both and have both the Windows 7 and the Windows 8 sort of merged together, and it's quite a nice setup. So it gives you the option really. So down the left here you've got all apps, and this shows you everything that's installed on the actual computer. So you can scroll down here and calculator, calendar, access, which is part of the Office suite. And goes all the way down here. So that's basically everything that's installed on the machine. You can also have, like here, I've already got Excel on the right hand side here. So you could, for instance, if I wanted to add Access over here as well, then you literally just click on Access, you drag it across, changes to a square, and then you can just drop that wherever you want in the list. So if we now focus on the tiles here, so as you can see on the weather one, that's a real-time display of the weather in my location here near Richmond. If you wanted that switched off, then you can, because this is what's effectively called the live tile. So if we right click on the weather and go to more, then you've got turn live tile off. So if I clicked on that, then it would just show you like a blank. It would just be a static picture. It would just it wouldn't give you the current weather. So if you want to switch that back on, you just right click on that again and go to more, and then you select turn live tile on, and there it is again. If you wanted to literally remove some of these from the list, you can just right click on, say, Skype video, and then you can just do unpin from start, and you do that. If you wanted to remove something from the system, then you can right click on it, and then you can do uninstall, and so that doesn't just remove it from the tiles here, that will actually remove it from your computer. So bear that in mind. And if you want to install apps from the store, the Microsoft Store, then down the bottom here you'll find there's the store icon. If you don't have it down there, it just means you've unpinned it from the taskbar, and it will be in the apps list here. But the quickest way is if you click in the search the web and Windows, or you might have Cortana in there, depends which setting you've got. We'll talk about that in a second. So just click down here, type in store, and then it appears in the top of the list here. So you just click on that, and then so if you wanted, this would be quite a handy one for me. So if we'll use this as an example. So National Rail Inquiries, this is free. You just click on that, and here it is, and it says free. Click on free again, and it says starting download, and we'll just wait for that to. I've got a fairly quick internet connection here, but it's not the most interesting to watch, so we'll just do something else for a second. Yeah, it's going through fairly quickly, but I said okay. While it's doing that, if we click on Start button, you've got File Explorer here, which if we click on that, it's always left click, by the way. If I'll say I'll say right click if it's not. So if I want to say click, it's always a left click. And this is quite similar to what you're familiar with in the File Explorer in the previous versions of Windows. And so you've got your standard desktop downloads, documents, pictures, this PC, and all the quick access links. So that's pretty quite similar to the way that it was before. And another thing here which you probably experienced in previous versions, that if you hold down on the top here and go up to the top, it gives you a full screen, or if you drag it to the side, it fills up half a screen. And one thing in Windows 10 which is slightly different, when you do that, pin it to the left or the right hand side, it shows you other windows you've already got open and asks you which one do you. So if I had, let me just do that again and I'll show you as an example. So if I do open up another Windows Explorer, so I've got 3 windows open effectively now in total. So if I now do the same thing again, pin that to the side. Now let me open up Word as well. Right, here we are. So if I now pin, say, Word to the side, do that again, there. Now this is good, isn't it? Right, let me try that again and just open up Word, and then we'll just open up Excel, for instance. Right, so definitely got 3 things open now, so just pull that to the side, and now it asks me which one of the other 2 windows do you want to sort of fill in the other half of the screen. So I say, well, I want Word, and you just click on that and it automatically fills in that. There we go. Eventually got there with that one. Right, so if we go back to the store and see, right, it should have, here we are. So it says here now National Rail installed. So we can close that down. I'll close that down as well. Come to the Start button, and as you can see, it's got National Rail as inquiries recently added. And if we go to All Apps, and then we go down to National Rail inquiries, and there it is. So you can access that way, but I find it so much easier just to, you could just type in the word rail, and it doesn't have to be the first word, and there it is, National Rail inquiries, and click on that, and then there's the app left, right, access your location, yeah, that's fine, and there's the app. So, and again, if you wanted to put that in here, so you just click on there, drag across, and just put it there, and there it is. Okay, you can change the size of these if you wanted. So if you right click on that, resize, I want it to be wide if you wanted to. There's no live tile option or anything on that one. Actually, it says turn live tile off, but it doesn't seem to me. Just go reopen it. Maybe on this one, once I set the home and the destination, you know, within the National Rail inquiries, you might find it shows some kind of updates there. But that's something you can just play with anyway. Right, let's go to, actually, while I'm here in the tile window, you can also resize this. If you have lots of tiles, then you can actually change the size. Go to the edge here, and then you can, you know, increase the size, or you can decrease it, whichever way you prefer, and the same for the width as well. So there's that. So to go to settings, so you click on start again, go to settings. All these options here you had, you know, you've had in the control panel on the old version of Windows, which is, so if we right click on here just to show you, so right click down the start button, and then left click on control panel. So all these options here, so you can still go back and use the older style, you know, control panel if you want, if you're more familiar with this. So personally, I still use this. It's I sort of know where everything is very quickly, but the new style, as I said, settings here is pretty, you know, it's quite user friendly. So if you just go into update and security, and you've got the Windows Defender, you know, Windows Update. If you can click on setting, then if we go to system, you know, notifications and actions, select which, so it's very user friendly. So it'll just take a bit of time just to familiarize and find out where everything is. So so that's the settings. Start button again, and if you go to power, click on power. So here you've got sleep, shutdown, and restart. And if you have more than one user using the actual computer and you want to log out and log back in as a different Windows account, then what you can then do is well, there's a few ways actually. So you right click on Start button and you got Shut Down or Sign Out. So here you would so go to Sign Out. Another way is you can actually go to the top here. You'll have your Windows username at the top here. You right click on that and then you've got Sign Out as well. And you've got a lock option there if you want to, if you're in a business or something and you're going away from your computer, you can just lock the screen quickly by doing that, or you can press the Windows L key as well for to lock the system. That's always been in the previous versions as well, the Windows and L key. And there we are. So if I open up a few more windows, just so I can show you this little thing here. So I've got 3 windows open again. And down the bottom left here you've got the task view. So if you click on task view, this quickly shows you the 4 windows that you've got active. This is my sort of screen capture program I'm using now to record this video, and then you can just click on, say, well, I want to go into Excel. So it's just a quick way of showing everything that's on the screen. Bottom right here you've got the standard list of icons, and then so all the basic ones like antivirus, network connection, sound, and then the new one here is notifications. So you can click on that. It will tell you down here if there's notifications, but it's all looking very good at the moment. Nothing to worry about. And then you can go into to connect to a different network or all settings, which will take us to the same screen as before. And there's that. The other thing is changing the default browser, so I can show you how to do that. Quite a few people, I've spoken to since installing or upgrading to Windows 10, they're not too keen on the new Edge browser, which is, I've taken off I've unpinned it, shall I say, from the bar in the bottom. But if we run Edge, this is the replacement to Internet Explorer. So there is no Internet Explorer. They've rebranded it, renamed it to Windows Edge. Can't say I've played around with it an awful lot. I'm very much a Google Chrome man, so I didn't actually play around with this at all, to be honest. So I installed Google Chrome, and once you do that, then or you can install Firefox or Safari, whichever one is your preference, and then to set that up as the default one, what you then do is you can do it within the program, or you can within Google Chrome or Firefox, or you can click on Start, go to Settings here, and then you just go to here we are, it's just going to System, System, and then down the bottom here you got Default Apps, and then so this is the area where you can set the defaults for all the apps on your PC, so that you can set the default email application or maps. But the one we're looking at now is web browser down here, so you can see it's already set to Google Chrome. So just imagine that was on obviously Windows the Edge, then they say it's recommended. But so you just select whichever one that you prefer. So as I said, it's Google Chrome for me, and then once you click on that, there's no save option, anything to do. It's just a case of selecting it and closing down the window, and that's it. So there we are. So I hope you found that useful, and thanks for listening.